How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another Wakai comic production where I got a pretty interesting topic for you guys today. How many of us have had conversations, pertaining to what type of powers would you like to have? I've had plenty of conversations with my friends. How many of us have woken up in the morning, watched our Saturday morning cartoons? We've seen people like Aang, bend air and all that type of stuff like that. We've seen humans do things that are not necessarily considered human. And I think something about that is really cool, trying to transcend your humanity to be something better, to be able to do something that nobody else can do. So that actually inspired this list. So I brought together a top 5 list of powers that I would personally want if I could choose. Now, my powers that I'll choose on here are based on strength and also practicality and usefulness in actual real life. So based on a fight and based on if you can use them in real life. So I wanted to bring you guys this list today, but you need to understand there are a couple rules. This is my list, my opinionated list. So that means that these are powers that I choose. This is not the top 5 best list, and this is not the top 5 strongest. Those would be lists for later on probably. This is my top 5 powers that I would want to have. So with that being said, remember all the conversations you probably had with your friends about which powers you'd want to have. Take your top 5, put them down in the comments, and enjoy.
Hey, Ryu! That key is incredible. The master told us about this. It must be the Dark Hado.
The number 5 power is going to be the Satsui no Hado, or the Dark Hado. And the reason why I select this power as number 5 is because I remember being a young chap, a young lad, right? And waking up in the morning, there were certain games we played on Super Nintendo. There was Mario Kart, there was Street Fighter, being the big one, Mortal Kombat, stuff like that. But there was two characters in particular that always got my attention, Ryu and Ken. Ryu and Ken were awesome to me, from the gi that they wore to the special moves that they used. The Hadouken, the Shoryuken, those are iconic, especially for a 90s kid such as myself. So when I came to realize that there was actually a secret boss in Street Fighter who was essentially an evil version of Ryu and Ken, man, dude, you can already tell that I was ready. I was hyped and I needed to know who it was. Come to find out, Akuma would be my favorite character in Street Fighter. Akuma uses the Satsui no Hado, and he's not the only one. Ryu actually comes across it later in his journey to be a great fighter, and it starts to corrupt him. Now what the Satsui no Hado is it's murderous intent. It's the intent to kill your opponent, to become stronger. Akuma has become one with it, therefore transcending humanity, as he calls it, or as Ryu sees it, losing his humanity and becoming something that we were not supposed to be. And as Ryu goes down his path, he comes into contact with it a lot, and it begins to try to change him too. But he's never been morphed. He's never really accepted the Satsui no Hado the way that Akuma has. Now the Satsui no Hado enhances your fighting prowess, makes you fierce, makes you demonic, and it makes you attack with complete aggression in hopes of decimating your opponent. At that cost though, you lose your humanity, you lose who you used to be. It's a steep toll to become powerful, but as you can see, you can reach heights like Oni. Oni being the most evolved form of Akuma, I said Akuma like Akuma Matata. But you can reach forms unknown at the sacrifice of your humanity. The question is, do you want to go that far? Akuma leveled a mountain, so... Number 4 needs no introduction amongst us nerds, amongst us fellow geeks, but it's my job to do it anyway. The Force, as we know, is an all-encompassing energy that connects us all. But as we see through the Star Wars movies and games, the Force can be weaponized and used to either protect yourself, in the views of the light side, or, to my favor, used in an aggressive way, as in the dark side of the Force. It's so much versatility in what the Force can do that it's almost boundless, it's almost limitless. But what we have shown is a power that I would definitely want to have, for almost any situation. I try to look at these powers as like, how could you use them practically, and how could you use them, in battle as they were meant. But the Force is one of those powers where it would be so helpful to have it practically. And in case somebody tried to step, you could knock them down. I say the dark side of the Force too, because I find the dark side of the Force to be more practical than the light side. It has cool things like Force Lightning, Force Choke, more aggressive things. But there's also Force Heal. There's also Force Battle Meditation. There's so many uses for the Force. You can enhance your body in cases of like Yoda, who's a frail old imp, but he can move like a beast when he endues himself with the Force. You have Darth Vader, who's pretty much a walking burnt corpse, but he can destroy people because he uses the Force. It's a really cool thing. The Force's only weakness, I think, is you have to be in tune with it or you can't use it, which kind of sucks. But other than that, man, if you have the Force, you're pretty much a wrecking house, man. You can do what you want to almost. So the number 3 power is actually going to be the Kryptonian physique. Who wouldn't want to be Superman? Honestly, dude. Who would not want to be so powerful that your enemies literally cannot stand up to you? You are among gods, and humans look up to you and they want to be you. Superman is so OP that they take the Titans from other universes to put him against him in hopes that they can prove how good they are, but more than likely you're going to lose against Superman. The reason being is the Kryptonian physiology is so broken to the point where you have nigh invulnerability, you can fly, you have super speed, you have heat vision, you have ice breath. You pretty much, in the golden days, in the beginning of comics, they were making up powers for this man. You can do whatever you wanted to underneath the sun. But even right now, as comics have kind of like leveled out and everything's become a little bit more balanced, Superman is still one of the most OP characters ever. Supergirl to Doomsday, everybody with a Kryptonian physiology or Kryptonian cells, they are all OP. And don't even get me started on Superboy Prime. He wrecked everybody in DC pretty much. Superman is not to be played with, and everybody knows this. He cannot be beat by most normal people. Magic seems to be an invulnerability, and of course, if you don't have a yellow sun, then you're gonna get dogged, because they are actually powered by the yellow sun. And we all know Superman has this really, really weird weakness to his own planet, the kryptonite, the radiated material from his own planet. So if you got some of that, yeah, you're gonna have a chance against Superman. But if you don't have anything that'll put you on the upper side of winning, you are gonna lose to Superman. That man is a wrecking house. Any Kryptonian for that matter. I say Superman because he's the best example, he's the most well known, but that man is a wrecking house. Unlimited strength, pretty much, unlimited speed, stamina. You can't do anything, man. You cannot do anything against Superman. The only weakness, like I said, is his weakness towards magic, and kryptonite will bring him down. But if you don't have those, buddy, you better watch out. Kryptonian physique, awesome. So number 2 and number 1 was a big toss-up for me. they were so close in the contest that I just eventually had to decide on where to put them, and number 1 barely etched out over this one right here. Super Saiyan does not need an introduction. As a kid, you know, watching Toonami, watching the Frieza saga, watching Frieza beat up on our Z heroes for so long, watching him kill Krillin, watching him, you know, do Piccolo wrong. When Goku achieved that transformation, it was one of the biggest moments of my young life, and for a lot of kids that grew up in the 90s, it was as well. That golden aura, you know, that blonde hair, that means something more, you know, than just something that happened in the anime. That was something that we actually wanted to achieve. There's people to this day who still, you know, want to be Super Saiyan, and I might even be one of those people. I'm not going to say yes or no. But the cool factor of the Super Saiyan cannot be denied. When you see a Super Saiyan get angry, you know that you're about to catch a whooping that you were not ready for. You did something wrong, basically. And every time I look at the Super Saiyan transformation, it gives me almost a weird hope, you know, that you can always be stronger than what you are at the time. You just gotta work for it. Super Saiyan went over a couple evolutions as Dragon Ball got older. We had the traditional Super Saiyan, Super Vegeta, you know, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 even. But then as Dragon Ball Super became to come out, we got the movies and everything. We got the Super Saiyan God transformation, which is added on more to the lore of Super Saiyan, which all that means is that basically Goku and Vegeta are going to get a lot stronger. And let's talk about the strength of a Super Saiyan transformation. 50 times multiplier for 1, 100 multiplier for 2, I think it's a 400 times multiplier for 3, and then God and everything above is pretty much you just enter the realm of the gods with your ki. Normal mortals pretty much don't stand a chance. And once you step it into the realm of the gods, man, that's amazing. For somebody like Goku and Vegeta who have been training their whole life, they finally achieved the strength that they have been fighting for, and they still keep fighting. But it's not, it comes with training. You have to have a massive amount of training to be able to control the force, to be able to, you know, have your body take on this overwhelming force of the Super Saiyan transformation. You can't just do it, you know, as shown by Gohan. So it takes training.
その車輪ガン、お前はどこまで見えている？イタチ、あんたの死に様だ。では。血を流す。強くなったな。
So number 1 barely beat out our number 2, which was the Super Saiyan. Sharingan has a certain cool factor about it that I cannot deny, man. It is one of the coolest things I think I've ever seen in anime, comic books, anything, dude. It is freaking amazing. And honestly, I was a little bit biased towards this, to be real, because Madara is my favorite anime character of all time. But I can't deny how useful the Sharingan would be in real life, not to mention how if somebody tried to test you or something, like somebody tried to step, bro, you can put them down with minimum effort, really. If you knew how to control your Sharingan. Sharingan has copy abilities. You can copy things that you see as long as you're able to perform them. You can kind of predict an opponent's move because the visual prowess is just so good that you can kind of predictably see an opponent's move before they do it based on simple twitches and stuff like that. Sasuke's used it to be able to see what somebody's writing from across a room. There's the level of prowess that you can get with your Sharingan is ridiculous. There's even different forms of it, like the Mangekyo Sharingan and then the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, which serve to boost you even further. Gives you access to the Tsukiyomi Genjutsu technique or the Amaterasu Black Flames that burn for 7 days and 7 nights. It's broken. You can see things coming. You can see people's chakra. You can you're pretty much in the Naruto verse, or even anywhere, you'd be nigh unstoppable if you can use the Sharingan to a varied effect. But that's the thing, you have to actually be able to use it. It's not just something that you get because you're part of the Uchiha clan. Yeah, you do, but if you can't evolve it, you can't use it. But somebody like Sasuke with an evolved Mangekyo Sharingan is one of the top hitters in Naruto. They almost have control over the reality that they're in based on their genjutsu techniques, you know, their manipulation techniques, their ability to see one's things coming and to use your own techniques against you. It's cool. It's awesome. The Uchihas are freaking amazing. It is the top power that I think I would want, looking at it from a practical standpoint and just from a badass factor. You know, it's a really cool power to have. Just to see your eyes like shine red, you know, with the 3 tomo in it, is already cool enough for me. And the ways that you can use the practical powers that come with it, the genjutsu, the fire, everything is just top notch. So Sharingan has to be number 1 for me. And that's gonna be our list right there, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys were, you know, at least, I hope you guys like it and it sparked conversation between you all. I wanted to give one more honorable mention as well for the Speed Force, because as I thought about it, you know, post-production kind of as I thought about it, the Speed Force is an amazing power to have. You can control time. It's pretty much broken almost how fast that you can move and the things that you can do with, you know, super fast movement, but I wanted to give that an honorable mention. As for that, I hope you guys really enjoyed the list. I hope it sparked some conversation between you. If you guys really feel that, you know, you want to state your top 5 as well, go ahead and put them down in the comments. That'll be freaking amazing. Everybody wants to have powers, dude. That's just kind of how it is. You can't watch these type of things that are on TV now and that are in the movies now and not kind of want to have those type of things for yourself. So that was where the basis of this video came. If you guys enjoy it and you like these kind of topics, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the like button, that'd be amazing, and also turn notifications on. And also hop over to my Twitter at YoungKami93, and I also have a Facebook page at Wakai Productions. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much.